We were having multiple $1 million months casual. If we didn't have a multiple $1 million month, it was weird. I'm in a mental space right now where I genuinely believe like you just went through a Hurricane 5 and now you're alive.
It's not too sexy to talk about the failures in business
100%.
and all of that. We're usually out here in social media
flexing the wins,
showing the highlight reels and all of that, which you and I do a pretty good job at doing, which is good because that's what's motivating people to continue in different paths that we're doing.
You want instant gratification and do you want to get with girls all your life and just spend all the money that you make on girls, or do you want to make money and make a life that a girl would want to live with? Dude, it really took me going to therapy. It took me really to going ahead and sitting down myself journaling, because
welcome to another episode of the Love Cashflow podcast. Today we are joined by an entrepreneur, investor, has exited companies and has a pretty diverse portfolio as far as what they've done in the past regarding relationships and also when it comes to the business world. I'm super excited to have today with us Antonio Rivodo. Welcome, my brother.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. I couldn't skip on the idea of being able to have you on the podcast because I'm here in your hometown.
Yeah, dude. Last time we got to play some golf together.
Yeah.
Glad we got to do this podcast together too.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad that I'm able to meet some pretty cool people in, just doing business and meeting, 100%. Learning from other people. We have, I guess, a common friend in Ryan Pineda. That's how we met. Went golfing a couple months ago.
100%.
Fun times. I'm still trying to work on my game.
Same.
Aren't we all though?
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, honestly, sometimes you just question whether you just suck or you just love this game.
Dude, I literally just played 2 days ago and I'm like, I'm gonna quit. I'm done with golf. This is not for me. My mental sanity.
Dude, it's like I can go a couple of rounds just shooting in the 80s, bro, and then I'll just come in one day, bro, and just bomb 100, bro. And I'm just like, dude, what am I doing?
To the point where you're like, I'm not even gonna keep score anymore.
Dude, just
whatever. Get through it. And every hole just becomes more painful because
100%.
it's kind of hard to get out of that hole. I just ruined this last hole. I'm gonna go into this one.
But you know what? But you know what's crazy? Something that I really appreciate about golf is that it really correlates a lot with business and mindset, because when you go play golf, and I explain this to all my friends that don't play golf, but I tell them because this is my logic behind it, or at least the excuse I give myself to continue playing. But the cool thing about golf is that when you're on that golf course, it's just you, that ball, the club, and the course. There's nothing else to think about, and the only person to blame is yourself. So the fact that you really got to concentrate on every single shot, you really got to go ahead and lock in onto the opportunity that's in front of you. It really makes you be present.
Yes.
And sometimes I feel in business or in life, we forget to be present.
100%.
And, that's why some of the things that I really appreciate about golf, it really keeps me grounded. And it makes me understand that hey, forget about the thing you just messed up.
Right.
Focus on what's next.
Yeah. Even if you had an awesome shot, you have to forget about it
100%.
because your next one might be into the woods.
Yep.
So I completely agree. I actually give that same speech to my friends about when I'm trying to get them into golf and all of that, because I want more golf buddies back home.
Yeah.
And I'm telling them that is really so important because it's 18 holes, but no matter how bad or good you did in the last hole, it doesn't determine how you're going to continue to do. You can do way better, or you can, soak in the fact that you just lost a ball in the water, right? So I love the fact that it's kind of like a condensed version of real life and in business too, because you can have a massive sale, you can have an awesome deal and all these things, but that doesn't determine the whole, 100%. Score of the game. Yeah, so man. I love that, man. So the theme for this podcast, as you know, it's love and cash flow, right? So because of the theme of the podcast, we usually do something where, have you played, I'm sure you've played in the past when you were younger, Truth or Dare.
Yes.
Right? So instead of Truth or Dare, though, is love or cash flow. Which one do you want to start with today?
We can start with cash flow.
Cash flow? Awesome. All right. So I love that because that's one of the things that we connected in. And most of the people that I bring on either are strong in love or strong in cash flow or in both. Yeah. And you happen to be someone who is in both, that can give insight in both
100%.
Aspects of it. So I'm excited to have you on. So let's start with cash flow. So I know when we first met, I known you as someone, actually my wife and I jumped on, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I do.
My wife and I jumped on a call with you.
Yep.
You were doing the trucking business and all of that.
Yep.
And you were basically getting investors
100%.
to jump on buying a truck. And then I guess your process was to basically put that truck to work for the investor. Am 100%. I right? Can you explain that process?
Yeah, 100%. So the business was kind of like your average trucking business, except, all of our assets were our clients' assets, and we were just a management company. So you can think of it like, in terms that most people can understand. It's kind of like a property management company, but for trucks.
Got it.
So basically, we'll hire the driver, we'll manage the maintenance, we'll manage booking the loads.
Right.
And just basically the whole managerial aspect of the business, we took care of it. They just owned the asset, and they would cash flow the asset every single month.
Got it.
Now, we scaled that business to 100 plus investors in the business.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then what would keep you from going out there and just getting the trucks yourself? Was it scalability? What was the incentive, to get investors?
I understood when I got into the trucking business that this is a volume game. It's not, a quality game, because in the trucking industry, like, the only way to get quality is with volume. You need to have a big fleet so you could be an attractive carrier for these big shippers, because these shippers didn't want to have to deal with 40, 50, 70 different carriers to go ahead and move their loads. They wanted to deal with one or two max that had 100, 200, 300 trucks that they can take care of all of the loads that they had to offer.
That makes sense. So they prefer to deal with one person that had a fleet of 200 trucks versus 20 people that had 10 or whatever it is. Okay, that makes total sense. It's just more manageable that way, 100%. And they know who to go to get what they want.
It's just less hands in the pot. Like, you got to be able to understand that when you're messing with big conglomerates, they don't want more problems on their table.
And more complexity.
100%. So they just want to keep everything super simple, super vanilla.
Okay, great. And then when it came to scalability, you were able to scale it to 100, you said, investors?
We got to about 120 plus.
Okay. And then, fast forward to today's date, is that a business that you still have? How is that going?
Unfortunately, like, the trucking industry kind of took a turn for the worst.
Oh, really?
Brokers got extremely greedy. Fuel rates, like gas, just went through the roof. Insurance was getting harder and harder to maintain, and then they were just kind of getting very expensive. So, around June, I decided just to cut my losses and just shut down the business.
Wow.
Just because it was
going downhill. It was
just going downhill, and so fast you couldn't even stop it.
Really?
So it was either, hey, do I lose this amount of money right now, or do I lose 10 times the amount of money in 6 months?
Right.
So it was a hard choice. Not super favorable, but you know what it is. We moved on to bigger and better things, and we're growing from it. It's a learning lesson for sure.
For sure. And I love the fact that you're able to, because that's something that is not too sexy to talk about, right?
Yeah.
The failures in business
100%.
and all of that. We're usually out here in social media
flexing the wins,
showing the highlight reels and all of that, which you and I do a pretty good job at doing,
sure.
Which is good, because that's what's motivating people to continue in different paths that we're doing. But it's also super important to show the side of, like, hey, not every business is going to be is going to be fruitful. And, it might be for a period of time. But
just to get a perspective, just in 1 year alone, we did over $12.5 million in sales, and then gross income for the business, we did over $34 million.
Wow.
Like, it was a big business, but even big businesses, like, can have a turn for the worse.
Right.
And, it's unfortunate the way it happened, but it's honestly a learning lesson that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. And you can't put a price on a learning lesson like that, because that kind of learning lesson with you sticks with you, and you remember it. And there's a lot of things that plays a role in a business. It's not just, monetary. It's not just the trucks, the repairs, and all that stuff. It's, damn, you had a staff of over 70 people. What was that like?
Right.
How did you manage all those psychologies? How did you manage all those personalities?
Right.
How did you manage an entire office of people like that? Like, there's so many learning lessons that goes into, like, scaling a business of that magnitude. And, the one thing that I can say is that if I were to do it all over again, I probably would have gone a little bit slower, to be honest with you.
In growth?
In growth. I think my content went viral. And the problem with going viral in content is that
you grow faster.
Fast. Like, it was getting to a point where we were having multiple $1 million months, like, casual. Like, it was just normal. If we didn't have a multiple $1 million month, it was weird.
It was weird. So it was growing pains that you were facing.
It was just, I couldn't, it was growing so fast that I couldn't, like, sustain it. Or I was, putting okay level solutions to difficult problems.
Got it.
And, sometimes you really got to, like, look at the details on some of those things, because when you don't, things start slipping through the cracks. And
right. Yeah, for sure. And when it came to, like, you said you did 12 million, was it, in 1 year?
It was 12.5 million year one.
And what was like, I guess, what are the margins in that?
We were operating at like 64% margins.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was.
Dude.
It was lucrative for sure.
That's insane.
Very lucrative.
Yeah.
The thing is that, like, we also had a lot of expenses. I don't know if you've ever like seen the trucking industry, but a repair for a truck isn't, $100.
But that falls under the 40% or the 30-something% of expenses, right?
Correct.
So that's still 60-something, net profit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's still, that's considering the repairs and all that?
There was multiple businesses within that one business.
Oh, okay.
So there was like about like 7 revenue streams inside that business.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But the main business, which was the automation side of the business, which was like setting it all up for every single client, was a 64% profitability.
That's insane, man. That's amazing, man. And that's something, I guess, again, like you said, you had this learning experience that you would have never really gotten had you not gone through the process of building 100%. A business that way.
100%.
And then, also I would love to get into the content side and all of that, because that's a huge part in what you've been able to build and all of that. So I definitely want to touch on that. But then, okay, so you basically liquidated, you cut your losses, and then you still have a staff of 60 people or whatever. How did that?
So we shut down the entire business. Like
everybody got laid off.
Everybody got laid off. Trucks got returned.
Okay.
And
so how does that process or conversation happen with these investors?
If you've been wanting to start an Airbnb business but don't know how or where to start, I've made a brand new mini course condensing our most recent 6-hour-long workshop into a jam-packed starter course. In this 7-day starter course, you'll learn the problems and mistakes I see rookies make when starting their Airbnb business, my 3 pillars of success, namely how to scout and pitch landlords to let you rent their properties to then list them on Airbnb, instead of having to spend thousands of dollars on getting started by buying a property. My Airbnb price strategy overview, which like me can help you make over $1 million on Airbnb alone. My automation process, which will give you the time freedom and allow you to work on your business instead of in your business. I'll guide you step by step through setting up your very own Airbnb account and mock listing to have ready for your first property. And lastly, I'll show you how to add the same guest message templates I've refined over the years for both quick replies and scheduled messages to effectively communicate with guests. And on top of all of the jam-packed education, I'm also throwing in my Prohost profit calculator, access to Airbnb's earnings potential tool, my house rules templates, my Amazon shopping list, my Prohost budgeting tool, and more. This education derives from 3 years of running a profitable Airbnb business, automating it to where it runs itself. If applied, these can help you instantly get partnerships with landlords and turn a passion for real estate investing into an extra income or even a full-time business. Students who have taken this starter course have claimed that they've learned more in these 3 hours of content than they did scavenging for answers in the internet. But no, we're not going to charge you thousands of dollars like others would. You can join today for just $27. So click the link below to sign up and get instant access to everything, apply what you learned, and get immediate step-by-step guidance and your mock listing setup or your money back. I'll see you there.
Hard.
That was hard, huh?
Hard. Very hard. A lot of legal. Still going through it, so I can't really disclose too much about it, but a lot of tough
I can only imagine, like, what does someone do?
A lot of tough conversations.
Yeah, like, what does someone do with this, 18-wheeler, right, truck, and where do they, like, I don't know anything about this, like,
100%.
You get me?
Yeah, a lot of tough conversations, and something that I can recommend to you, and like for anybody that would ever like catch themselves in this kind of position is like, get out in front of it, as fast as possible. Just like, manage your vocabulary and the way you handle these conversations, because you have to understand that everybody's emotional.
Right.
Everybody's also,
looking out for themselves
100%. And, I don't hold anybody that's angry with me against me, because, at the end of the day, like, I understand you.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand, the situation this might have put you in. Trust me.
Yeah.
We're all in a situation,
right?
Of our
but
own.
At the same time, I'm sure you understand this, and I'm sure you try to illustrate this to the investors that decided to invest with you. Is like, hey, you're taking a risk here. It's not 100%. Just upside.
Yep.
Anytime anybody goes into business, any kind of any capacity, usually there's going to be risks 100%. Involved. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it, and it would just be pretty fluid from there. Of course,
and like you have to understand that like a lot of people also based their facts on like how the market was looking when things were up.
Right.
When things were up, we were up.
Yeah.
And everything looked beautiful, but when the market started started making a turn.
Yeah.
Those are the moments where you really got to pivot. And when you're growing as fast as we were growing, and not paying attention to the details,
right,
things can happen.
Now, my question is like, what's, I guess, happening with the trucking industry then now? Like, obviously the trucking, like America runs on trucking.
100%.
It's not like America runs on Dunkin'. It's American runs on trucking because everything needs to be transported from point A to point B. How does that like...
To be honest with you,
Is there a pivot maybe that needed to happen?
What I've come to understand about the trucking industry, and dude, I still deal with a lot of trucking companies. So one of my businesses that I currently have is a trucking consultation business. It's called truckingmentorship.com.
Okay. It's an education business?
It's purely consultations.
Okay.
So I just help trucking companies kind of like add more revenue streams to their current business model.
Got it.
So, you know, my main conversation with a lot of these trucking businesses is like, it's pretty much similar, you know. Brokers are not willing to pay more for the loads because you have to understand that 3.5 years ago in the trucking industry, you know, loads were paying insane. They were paying insane amounts of money.
And what's the reason behind that? Why?
Because with COVID and everything, all the whole stoppage of everything, when it opened back up, people needed to deliver their product. So they were like, dude, I don't care what it costs to deliver this.
Right.
Go send this thing over there.
Got it.
It's going to cost me 10, 15 grand to send this one load. No worries. I'll pay it. But get my product out there because my consumers need to buy this.
Yes.
What people don't understand is that was high. That was the peak of the market.
Right.
And people were making, these brokers were making absurd amounts of money. They were making almost 70, 80% margins on some of these loads.
Yeah.
So what happens is when the market starts taking a turn downward, these brokers are riding a high that they don't want it to end. I mean, who would want
Which
it
they
to
thought it was a standard.
Yep, of course. They created a new standard.
Right.
They were like, no, what? I don't make $150 a load anymore. I'm making $2,000.
Right.
Why would I make less?
Right.
So that mindset stuck the same, although the market wasn't paying the same. So who takes the hit?
Yeah,
all the trucking companies, all the truckers, all the owner operators that they need to take a load in order to survive. Because if they don't get paid, then how do they pay their bills?
So
I'll take whatever you give me. Just hopefully there's some level of profit, which there isn't.
Got it.
And the problem is that these brokers are just getting greedier and greedier and greedier by the day. And
well, it'll come to a point where it's finally gonna even out, and they're gonna come to the realization.
I believe the United States is gonna regulate the brokers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's coming.
Okay.
They have to.
At that point, would you consider going back into it, or
no?
You're done with the trucking business.
The only reason why I wouldn't consider going back into the trucking industry is just because, dude, I like doing business with people like you and me. You know, we understand business terminology, we understand business like logic, and these people in the trucking industry, like, to be honest with you, like they're people from low means,
right?
Like they don't have high education, they don't have proper business like knowledge, so it's very difficult to communicate and have proper communication with these people,
right?
You know.
Got it. So it's just not in your wavelength. It's not the energy you want to be in.
It's not worth the money you're gonna put into it. Now, it's very profitable if you know about trucking and you live, breathe, and work trucking every single day of your life, and you're willing to go into the trenches.
Right.
If you're that guy,
right,
dude, you'll crush.
And those are the people that you're helping, like create new revenue streams within it.
And now the role that I have in the trucking industry, which is kind of helping them create more revenue streams for their business, because that's something that I did very well. You know, I created a lot of revenue streams for my business.
Yeah.
So now I'm just teaching other people how to create those revenue streams as well for people that are willing to commit to be successful within the trucking industry. I'm just giving them more tools to go ahead and do so.
Got it. There was this guy actually before we met that another friend of mine kind of told me about. He's like, dude, you should look into his content. He was in the trucking industry. I want to say something Good Energy.
Yeah, I like Good Energy.
You know him? Okay. Yeah. What did he do? Basically what you do?
So he's more of a coach. He's kind of he has his courses. Okay. But he's no longer in the trucking industry.
Either?
No.
Oh, wow.
He's more of just like, he has a dispatching course and he teaches people how to do dispatching, but not even, he just has a course.
He's in education space.
Yeah, he's an educator.
An educator. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Because, I mean, education is, that's why I asked you.
Education pays.
Yeah. Like, I'm in the education space. 100%. I thought you were.
I am.
You are?
Yes, I am, but for my trading community.
Okay. We're gonna get into that now. So okay, so then you just basically cut your losses with the trucking industry. Yeah. So now then what transpires before you, I guess, pull the plug on the trucking? No. Did you have something already lined up that you were already working on?
No. So I've always believed that in business sometimes you have to be willing to make a pivot.
Yeah.
You have to because not everything is going to be ideal. Not everything is going to work out your way. And, you can go into an opportunity, with full heart, full ambition, full vision, full motivation. But if the answers are just not presenting themselves and if the lanes are just getting closer and closer and closer, I don't know, man. I just believe that when God wants something to happen, He'll give you the simplest road to make it happen.
100%.
And that's how it started in the trucking business for me. That's why I went full force with it, because it was just very, all right, doors keep on opening. It wasn't me like forcing my way into this industry. Right. It was just doors kept on opening.
And you just went through them.
And I just went through them.
Right.
So whenever I feel like something, that's how I operate. That's how I operate in business. Whenever I have, smooth pathway, I know I'm on the right track.
No resistance,
no
all
resistance.
That's usually how God speaks too, also, because, when you feel peace, is usually like, okay, I'm going to move through with this and continue to,
100%.
pursue that. No, but I love that. And when it came to then, I guess, the side of like, you're pivoting, right? Yeah. What did you pivot into?
So I pivoted. Number one, I decided to go ahead and go into the consulting space for trucking immediately. Yeah. I started consulting with other people in the same space as me, as other trucking automation companies. I started helping them.
Because you weren't doing that before, or
no, I wasn't really doing it, but I was only doing it for myself. Okay. Then I went into going ahead and helping other trucking automation companies, thrive and succeed. Okay. While I found my next vehicle.
Got it.
Looked into solar for a while, did it for a while, tested it, see how it performed. Wasn't too favorable, not because it's not lucrative enough. It's very lucrative. Highly recommend if you're a sales rep to go into solar, but because I wasn't personally willing to go and knock doors every single day. Yeah. Not because I look down on people who do that, just because like that's not the best use of my time.
Right.
That's not the way I want to make my money.
For sure.
I always did trading, on the back end, like always did like myself, like always
dabbling into like trading.
I always did trading just to have an income stream. Okay. No matter what, because trading for me will always be forever an income stream for me.
You've been doing it for a while?
5 years.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it all started with network marketing. Did network marketing in the Forex space, kind of got me introduced into like, trading Forex.
Yeah.
Took it pretty seriously about 3 years ago. Had my first big payout 2 years ago. And then ever since then, I've just been kind of like day trading low key, just keeping it to myself. Yeah. It wasn't until about like 3 months ago that I really decided like, I'm going to go full force and like really build a strong community behind trading.
And that's I guess a good, segue into the conversation of, community and network, building networks and social media and all of that, because you were known as the guy that was on top of trucks pitching investors to, come on board with the trucking. How do you, pivot your personal brand into...
Yeah, so that's right now currently a work in progress. So right now my strategy behind that has been to basically build a community of like on its own, not including my own personal brand. Yeah. My personal brand is kind of like right now on pause. I just because I don't want to go ahead and start promoting something until I have enough results that I can show that like says like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Right. This guy knows what he's doing. So for the past, 3 months, I've been building a community organically. No paid ads. I'm about to start paid ads next week. And dude, it's been growing consistently. We're about like 27 members right now in the community. Nice. I've been making consistent profits and withdrawals, from
your personal trading.
From my personal trading. Yeah. So I have proof to show people like, I know what I'm doing. Right. I can be a figure within this industry that can really coach people on how to be successful within trading. I do a lot of personal mentorship myself, not like I'm mentoring other people, but more like I'm getting mentorship from other coaches as well to, improve my performance and get better at it myself. Yeah. And then at the same time, I trade with my community every single day, 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. So
nice. So you go live with them
every day.
Nice.
Every day, just being a practitioner of what I'm talking about every single day.
And then also building up that trust with them, I'm 100%. Sure. And then also building up that social proof, because if they're implementing what they're learning and then it gets back to you, you can use that for later on.
And then at the same time, like just building my own confidence. Like, when you take an L like the one I just took, it really eats at you. And a lot of people don't really want to talk about this. And I feel free to talk about it right now just because like I'm in a mental space right now where I genuinely believe like, dude, you just went through a Hurricane 5, and now you're alive. You're still alive. You're still here. You're on the other side. You've already found your next vehicle. But I want to kind of talk a little bit about like how to get from the storm to like you're okay.
Yeah.
I love that. A lot of people don't really know this, but dude, there was months where like my confidence was gone. It was like absolutely like in my head, just like, dude. Like, are you even a business person? Are you even...
imposter syndrome kicking.
Immediately kicking in. Like, dude, you're a failure. Like, what are your friends going to think about you? What are your family going to think about you? What are all these people, like, probably saying about you? Right. People talking shit left and right. And it's just a matter, like, all that stuff gets to you. Like, of course. Your psychology just starts going lower and lower and lower. And, dude, it really took me going to therapy. It took me really to going ahead and sitting down myself, journaling. Like, it really started, like... I needed to find, what made Antonio happy again, because the success was there. But when that all gets stripped away from you and like it's all gone, like the only thing that really matters is like who's there with you when the chips are down. Because You know, when you're up here, everybody's your friend.
There with you.
Everybody's your friend. Everybody wants your phone number. Everybody wants to get mentored by you. Yep. Everybody wants something from you. But when you're down here, everybody's just looking at you and talking you through the side of their neck.
For sure.
You know, the psychology that like I had to like endure or like grow from within that process was tough, man.
Yeah.
It really took me to like recalculate like what I really hold important and how I genuinely want to be an entrepreneur in this world. And you know, it made me understand that like what are the kinds of businesses that I do want to invest into? What is my portfolio going to look from now on? Like
what kind of energy you're going to pour into
100%.
Where and
what kind of effort do you want to put into any individual business? Like what's going to be like my risk aversion needed to change. Like you needed to go ahead and like just understand that you can't take big like bets like that. You can, but you also gotta calculate
consequences
for all that stuff. So
for sure.
I think right now I'm a more calculated person. I'm a more mature. I'm not giving my energy to just anybody anymore. Like now it's more about like doing the things that genuinely make me happy. Right. And then when I'm in that state of mind and when I'm in that energy, you're only gonna get the best of me.
For sure. So in your case, then you had to like self-develop again, 100%. Go back to the drawing board, analyzing and seeing what exactly is what makes Antonio tick and move forward so that if anything ever happens again, it gets stripped away, you're still the same you. 100%. It's just like, okay, this is not it. Let's move this way. I love that, man. I think that, because of that, no matter what comes after this book, because you're still super young. How old are you?
28.
28 years old, bro. Like I'm 34. Like you still have you've accomplished so much at such a young age. But yet you've already experienced things that people that are twice your age have gone through. So I can only imagine what's going to come from here. 100%. You mentioned something when it came to like mentorship and you yourself investing into mentorship and getting that help. How important has that been in your career? You know
what's funny? Like I didn't realize how important it was until I went back and did it again. Because while I was on the rise, like for like this whole like automation business, like I did a lot of personal development. Like I went to the Grant Cardone's events. I went to the Bob Proctor events. I went to the David and Monitti events. Like I worked a lot on my psychology. And I thank God that I had network marketing that taught me how to personally develop a lot. Like network marketing really built that foundation in me and to make sure that every single day you devote time to work on your mindset. And what I realized is that throughout that entire process of when all the bullshit is happening, I wasn't doing any personal development. I wasn't listening to any podcast. I was just thinking about problems. And there's a big saying that what you focus on grows. And when you focus only on problems, that's the thing that's gonna grow and that ends up consuming your headspace. So, dude, it wasn't until about like 4.5 months ago that a buddy of mine invited me to a mastermind. And in that mastermind, bro, when you're around just people that just have good energy, they're achieving success, they're creating solutions, they're creating opportunities for people. It opens your mind to like, damn, maybe the world isn't the way I perceive it. Maybe it's just the situation that I'm currently in that doesn't allow me to perceive something better. Right. So once I went to that mastermind, I was like, damn, I feel really good inside. Like,
it's like you get re-energized.
But when I go back home, I go back to all the bullshit. So I was like, you know what?
How do I sustain this?
That's the main question. So I went back home every day. I needed to devote myself 20 minutes to an hour to do a morning routine. That morning routine, it has to involve personal development. Like you got to work on your mindset first before you even approach the day. When I started doing that, started doing that consistently for a week. Realized it was working for me. Boom, kept it going.
What kind of things were you doing, if you don't mind sharing?
So I was listening to Bob Proctor, Paradigm Shift. I was listening to Alex Morton, Mindset. I was listening to Ryan Pineda. I was listening to Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozy. Like I was listening to people that were achieving high levels of success that were just talking about the ups and downs in business. Because you have to understand that I can't be the only person that's ever gone through some kind of trouble like this.
For sure.
So there has to be other people that have also achieved, success, that have also gone through a bunch of problems. And, thank God there were. And I was able to find, those stories. I was able to find, those videos where they're talking about those things because they gave me things that I can practice on a daily basis to get over the hump, to get over the thought process of like, oh my God, this problem is never going to end.
Yeah, because in that moment, you're probably thinking like, dude, is this ever going to end?
You don't see.
I'm by myself.
You
like,
can't even see the end of the tunnel.
Right.
So like how that's unmotivating. That like your psychology is just speaking to you and telling you, dude, you're never going to get out of this problem. You are stuck here. This is the thing that literally, this is literally the thing that defines you.
Right.
And
it's going to haunt you forever, and your brand is ruined, and all these things. Yeah.
Yup. And then like, ever since I started practicing personal development, like it didn't happen immediately.
Right.
It didn't happen within the first week, the first 3 weeks. It happened, consistently. I needed to build the routine again. I needed to build the routine of just working on myself every single day again. Ever since I started doing that, started investing in mastermind, started investing in mentorship, started investing in coaching, consulting.
Yeah.
And dude,
life changer,
bro.
For sure.
My
I've always said that investing into mentorship and investing into people that have been places that you want to go to, aspire to be at, is like the biggest hack that 100%. People don't, normally is like, dude, I'm not going to pay 10 grand to be in the front row at a mastermind or a Grant Cardone.
It's the shortcut people are looking for.
They want to pay for the $100 ticket or for free and then expect to get the results of someone that's sitting up in the front with rubbing shoulders with people that are doing it at a high level. But I find it to be the biggest hack. And at the end of the day, what I tell my students, because we have now about over 350 students in Prohost, right? So I always tell them, what you're buying here is not knowledge. You're buying time. The time that it takes you to get from point A to point B. And that's where I've invested over 6 figures for sure in just 100%. Coaching and being in the right rooms 100%. And all these different things. And I'm a big advocate of it because I'm buying time. If I want to get to, because you could technically, I tell my students, everything that I'm teaching you guys here, you can go find in the internet somewhere. ChatGPT might give you a variation of it, but is it proven? Is it tested? Has it gone through the ups and downs that you're going to go through, right? So it's really like reducing that time period for them to be able to get to where they want to get. No, so I love that you're also in that space. And something that you and I connect with, and I resonate with, is that I didn't know that you were also in network marketing. I was also in network marketing.
Which one?
ACN.
Okay.
I was in ACN, and that's like you said, that's kind of like what laid the foundation for me in the entrepreneurial space, because at that point is where I knew that I could not only just make money for my efforts, but I could help others build, and then I can get paid for that.
100%. It's funny. You'll actually find a huge commonality in successful entrepreneurs that have all participated in some shape or form of network marketing.
Yeah, I realized that. Everybody that I've known, or for the most part, a big percentage of them, have dabbled in network marketing in what shape or form. And I feel like network marketing is the perfect, I guess, like stepping stone into entrepreneurship, 100%. Right? Finding that community. It's low barrier to entry usually.
I think it's the fact that the only person you hold responsible for the success is yours. So when you finally accept that in network marketing, because there's going to come to a moment you're going to accept it.
Right.
Like, I am not going to move forward in this network marketing business unless I go recruit people or unless I go sell some product.
Yep.
And once you accept that, then you got to start finding answers to that problem. And then once you understand that concept as a whole, you'll realize that business is the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
You're literally going through the exact same process. It's just now your business.
What's your story behind, not continuing in the path of network marketing? Because as I'm sure you know, and I know, there's people that are making crazy amounts of money in the network marketing space. What kind of, I guess, deviated you from continuing in that path?
So funny story. I was actually in network marketing. It was a company called IML. Shout out IML. The reason why I joined the company mainly was because one of the mentors that I have followed since I was a kid, Alex Morden, was just launching that company. And dude, this guy is the rock star of network marketing. Like, this guy is a god. But point is, like, I joined that company, joined under like an organization that, wasn't really like helpful. Like, they weren't really like too like hands-on with anybody in their specific like organization.
Yeah, in their lineage or whatever.
Fortunately, I was working with a guy named John that we became very, very, very close friends. But I was on an organization inside of John's organization that was on a leg of his that was just so big that he was never going to pay attention to.
Got it.
One day, his organization on the third leg gets completely wiped out. A super random thing. Like, I had never seen anything like it. But point is, the entire organization just disappears from one day to another.
Oh, really?
And he tells me he went from making like $15K a month to making $0.
Wow.
Because when your complete organization's in balance now, that you have a third leg that's gone.
Yeah.
So point is, me and him have a very close relationship, and he was like, hey, bro, what do you think about helping me build my third leg again? Cancel your membership on that organization. Come over here. I'm like, hey, dude, I don't feel comfortable doing that. unless I talk to the person that's above me and ask him for permission.
Yeah.
So, dude, I went, asked him for permission, and he told me, yeah, okay, I'm cool with it. I was like, oh, for real? All right, bet. Went to the other organization, bro. Within like 4 days, we brought in like almost like 270 people into the organization.
From the other organization?
No. A brand new organization.
4 days?
4 days.
Yo, what in the
world? We went crazy. We went to Tampa, Orlando. We went to Atlanta. And we just started bringing in heads every single day, packing out auditoriums every single day.
How did you like pack them? How did you?
Instagram DMs.
Oh.
Instagram DMs.
So like cold DMs?
Yeah, Instagram DMs, word of mouth, just inviting people, creating hype around. Right. Dude, those events would get packed out every night.
Really?
So, dude, we built up an organization.
And this is in IML, right?
IML. Yeah. So what ended up happening was the person who was above me on the other leg snitched on me, and the person who was our up superior, he came in and canceled my account with everybody that was in that organization. And when that happened, bro, I was like, for real?
Oh, wow.
Like, even though you know the truth about what really happened here, you're still gonna right, no worries, it's okay, no harm, no foul, cancel my shit, I'm gone. I'm gonna go and just like do something else. And immediately the opportunity presented itself to go into real estate.
Got it. In real estate and network marketing, or just real estate?
Real estate, wholesale real estate.
Wholesale real estate.
Yeah. Okay. So immediately when that happened, like 3 weeks later, there was a huge event happening in Tampa.
Okay.
And I went to go visit my boy that lived in Tampa that same weekend, and it just happened to be on the same weekend. I didn't plan it. Nothing happened. It just, all the stars aligned, and I was just there at the right moment.
Right.
I went to the event, and a guy by the name of Rafael Vargas was speaking at his own event, and it was, I want to say there was probably like 3,000 people there.
Really?
It was a huge event.
Oh, wow.
And I somehow found the way to sneak into the event. Don't ask me how. I kind of finessed it, but I got into the event and I immediately heard like life-changing information. I heard he was talking about how he would go to a homeowner and he would text them. He literally did it live, which was the craziest thing. I thought,
really?
Because those people that tell you like, yo, I can do something, but they're all cap until they really show you they can do it.
Yep.
This guy literally sent out an SMS campaign to 10,000 homeowners. Somebody answered live on stage on a laptop, sent a campaign, got a response. And somebody literally said, I want to sell my home. He called the person
on the spot
and had a conversation with them and got them to a point where like they were interested in selling.
Yeah.
Now, whether the price was the right price or not, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Point is, it worked.
Right.
A homeowner got back to you and said, I want to sell my house.
Right.
So the moral of the story is like that business model, it was so intriguing because all you had to do was get that property under contract and flip the contract to an investor.
Yep.
And make a profit.
Yep.
And we did like a tour around his office, and this guy was bringing in like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month just flipping these contracts.
Yeah.
Immediately, I was like, dude, I'm sold. I'm sold. You got me. Take my money.
Yeah.
This guy offered like a mentorship package of $25,000.
Wow.
And in that moment, I was like, I don't got $25,000. I'm not going to spend $25,000 on this. But the guy sitting literally next to me said, hey, dude, I'll put 12 and a half. You put the other 12 and a half. We go halves and we'll go as partners. If by the end of the mentorship program you want to do this together, we'll do it. If not, go your own way. And we both got the information. Cool. Bro, we did it. Flew to Dallas. Did the mentorship. Got everything I needed. And in that event in Dallas, I met my business partner for real estate. My business partner for real estate was already operating an entire wholesale operation inside of Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
And in Memphis, Tennessee, this guy was already doing like 15, 25 deals a month.
Wow.
And he was literally going to take me under his wing. So he was going to set me up completely in South Florida to do what he was already doing in Memphis, but for South Florida.
It's like a franchise.
Literally.
Right.
So what he did was smart. He got like 5 of us. He got a Nashville office. He got
he literally franchised you guys then.
Literally, but we were all partners of the entire operation. So we all made money off every single operation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
so
dope.
it was like a whole deal.
Right.
So, dude, he was like, dude, go recruit your boys. Go recruit your team.
Salespeople, right?
Salespeople, and come back to me when you're ready. Dude, came back to Miami, motivated as ever. 2 days later, had my entire team built, bro. I flew me and one of my close friends at that time to Memphis with me. We did a one-on-one training. Bro, day 2, we closed a contract that we ended up flipping for like $34K.
Wow. And the average is anywhere between 10 to 50?
10 to 25,000 is the average size at that time.
Okay.
But dude, our first day, we didn't get a deal. Second day, we got a deal. that we ended up flipping, and we closed on it.
After talking to how many people, or after
2 days of talking to people, so maybe like 150 people a day.
Okay.
So, but dude,
and this is like cold calling.
There's people that don't get their first deal for a year.
Yeah.
I got it on my second day.
That's wild.
And the moral of this story is that's the power of mentorship. That's the power of mentorship. What took somebody else a year to do took me 2 days.
Right.
And that's what happens when you pay someone that's already doing what you want to do, and they're doing it successfully.
Right. 100%. So then you got into
wholesale
the wholesale space. And how long did that last? Or are you still doing it?
No, we did wholesale real estate for about 2.5 years.
Okay. And then how big did you grow it at its peak,
So at its peak as a whole operation, we were doing about 115 to about 125 deals a month.
And how about your location?
My local operation was doing about 20 to 30 deals a month.
Yeah, which equates to 20 to 30,000.
I would say probably our average 40. In Florida and Dallas, which were the markets that I was managing, our average deal was about 11.5.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty sweet, man.
No, it's pretty awesome.
And it's pretty much...
It was the first time I ever touched, 6 figures a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So at this point, this was before even the trucking industry 100%. And all of that, right?
Yep.
So for those that don't know about like wholesaling, it's not necessarily like real estate investing or it's really a marketing sales play.
I think it's a marketing sales game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it really has...
You never have possession. You don't own an asset ever.
I don't think that wholesale real estate has anything to do with real estate. It's more about marketing. Now, obviously, you do need general knowledge in real estate to close the deal.
Right.
But like... You're not in real estate until you take down the property yourself.
Yep.
You rehab the property. Right. You put it on the market.
Right.
You have real money.
You're the facilitators of the person that's selling to the person that's buying.
Yep.
The final.
Yep. You're the middleman.
And you're just making the split in between.
That's it.
That's really what it is. Because a lot of people don't know what it is. But no, I love the wholesaling game, and I've actually in a couple wholesalers lists because I'm buying properties 100%. Now, renovating them, flipping them, and then keep them up for my portfolio for Airbnb.
I mean, dude, the person that we know in common is probably one of the biggest,
wholesalers,
real estate companies in the country right now.
Yeah, Ryan, right?
Yeah,
is that your friend? Yeah. No, for sure. And then so that's going well. It went 2.5 years. You said?
Yep, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. And then what happened that you decided to?
So that business kind of came to a short demise just because. The partnership that we had in Memphis was just ended up being a very toxic relationship. At
that point, there was 5 of you guys in different
at that point we were 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay. We ended up growing and bringing on more franchisers. Yeah. But the team that I had also here in Miami, because it was all boys.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted more than what they felt they deserved. And that can happen in business. And I'm gonna be transparent right now. People usually see all the glamour and the big numbers and the gross revenue, but they don't know the hard work and the sacrifices that goes behind building the actual business. And when you're a sales rep, and especially if it's one of your close friends, I think that's a mistake that I made. I hired people that I was very tight with from children. We were since middle school, we all knew each other.
Yeah. That was a mistake you said, right?
I would say that was a mistake I made because I didn't know how to draw the line between friendship and business. And that was the first time I ever came in contact with that because I had never hired any friends for any businesses that I ever launched.
Right.
So this opportunity, when I launched it, I decided to bring my friends into it, and the lines were blurred, things were said, relationships were kind of damaged, and the business had to kind of come to a close. And then obviously COVID also didn't help anything at all.
Oh, okay. That was during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID didn't really help at all. So, it kind of created obstacles for us that none of us knew how to handle.
Right.
So I kind of just decided to put it to sleep.
How would you approach now, looking back, the things that as far as, the whole hiring, family members, friends, people that you are close to?
I wouldn't hire friends.
You wouldn't do it?
Yeah, I would not hire friends.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that there's people that are very on one side or the other. I'm a big proponent of also being more reserved.
Yeah.
Unless I analyze them from a standpoint of strictly
100%.
that they fit the description of who
they're a qualified candidate
right.
for the position I'm looking for and they're a friend, dude, I'll go recruit them right now.
Right. Not if they don't fit the mold.
But if you want that opportunity more for them than they want it for themselves,
that's the issue.
You messed up.
Fire. I love that. No, that's really good. Okay, so then COVID happened. That one goes to bed.
Yep.
What's next? after that? What did you pivot into?
I took some time off, went to Tampa for a bit.
Okay. You have family or something?
No, funny enough, my dad is a developer out here in South Florida.
Okay.
So him and his partner, they develop in South Florida and they develop in Tampa.
Okay.
And they had about 5 development deals that they were trying to sell off. And obviously with my experience with wholesale real estate, finding buyers for me wasn't really that difficult.
Okay.
So I took on the responsibility of just go finding the buyers for those deals. And while I was out there, I just had to just kind of like have some fun,
Yeah, dabble into that
a little bit, try to move those properties, which we did. And then we decided to go ahead and kind of like look into like what's my next move?
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do next? What's my next opportunity?
This episode is brought to you by our partners at Wealthy Creator, the go-to experts for entrepreneurs looking to elevate their personal brand and unlock new income streams. With their proprietary Pineda method, you'll get a tailored blueprint. You'll master content production and discover monetization secrets that work. Don't just work hard, work smart, and let Wealthy Creator guide you to your next level of success. Visit the link in the description below to learn more and start transforming your personal brand today. Now back to the episode.
At that moment, a huge boom was happening. Like the mentor that I had told you for real estate, Rafael Vargas, at that moment, he decided to shut down his entire real estate business and go into Amazon automation.
Oh, wow.
So Amazon automation at this moment in time was the number one thing in the world.
There's windows. Like, tell me a little bit about the windows in time and opportunities.
People think that like you can just join a business after like it's been out for a minute,
right,
and still be successful. And I'm not saying you can't.
Right. It's just harder.
But timing is everything. Timing is everything. If you catch something at the peak or like on the rise of the wave, you're going to ride that wave.
And that's really in anything, like even in social media, like TikTok, when it first started, like you got in TikTok, you go viral for doing the stupidest thing.
Dumbest thing.
Like there's people that it just, when they got in, the algorithm was just how it needed to be and all these things.
And it benefited.
The stars aligned and then, it would benefited it.
Yep.
So then you pivoted into dropshipping too?
Not immediately.
Okay.
Not immediately. So I was super skeptical. Super skeptical because, most entrepreneurs were skeptical. Everybody's just trying to sell you some shit.
Right.
So, at that moment, I was highly skeptical, but it wasn't until I sat down with one of my friends named Mike. Mike owned a massive, e-commerce business in Orlando.
Okay.
And he invited me over. He told me, yo, pull up. I was in Tampa. So he was like, dude, drive over here. It's an hour away. Come check out what we're doing. Let me show you why you need to be involved in this. I think you would crush it. So Mike is a friend of mine from network marketing.
Okay.
I was above him in network marketing, and now this guy owns a multi-million-dollar corporation. Like, insanely big.
Like a warehouse type thing?
Like 15 warehouses. Like some crazy thing. Damn. So obviously I went to go check it out. And when you arrive there, it's like a kid in a candy store. You're just like, oh my goodness, look at everything this guy's doing. So at that moment when I saw that, that's when I'm like, dude, there's something here.
Okay.
What I did immediately when I went back to Tampa was I put out a Craigslist ad, and I was like, I need bodies. Okay. I need to test this out, and I need to make sure. I need to know if there's something here.
Okay.
I ended up recruiting like 4 heads, and it was just 4 like.
The ad was for Craigslist was to like recruit people.
Recruit sales reps.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, let's make this fun. Like if we're gonna do this, let's
test it out.
Let's have some fun. Let's test it out.
Because at this point, you're really not even involved. You're just trying to scope it out and see.
I'm just testing a theory over here. I'm just testing a theory. Does this even work? Are people even interested in this?
That's a really good point, and I want to touch on this really quickly, and then you could go back to it. Is that a lot of people, they feel like they need to have everything figured out.
No.
And then have everything, like they'll go out and build a website and they'll go out and do all these things that are so insignificant that won't necessarily bring the dollars in. But the fact that you actually said, no, let's reverse this thing. Let's make it seem as if we already have something established to then see if there's any traction.
I just wanted to know, are people even interested in this?
Right. Okay.
So what I did was like, what do I have at my disposal? Well, I have a buyer's list of investors that from wholesale real estate that was over 25,000 buyers that I could easily put to use. I can easily start seeing if there's any remote interest. Because mind you, at this moment in time in real estate is slow. It's dead. It's not really. There's not much deal movement going on.
Right.
Remember, I'm tapped into the market. Like I know what's going on.
Right.
I know who's buying. My buyers are always hitting me up saying, "Yo, what else do you have?" I'm like, "Yo, there's not much."
There's not much. Okay, so they're hungry.
They're hungry. They were desperate to throw money at something. You just you had to give them that something, and that's what I ended up realizing when I tested this out. So I bring in these 4 people, And I'm like, guys, we are literally going to call everybody on this list.
Which is like 25,000.
25,000 people. Mm-hmm. We're going to call every single person on this list, and we're going to ask them, have you ever heard of something called Amazon automation? If anybody raises their hand, yes, you pass me the phone, and I have a conversation with them. Okay?
Yeah. That's it. That's all they're doing.
That's all. That was your only responsibility.
Yeah. So they're setters.
They're setters. Okay. Literally. It took less than 4 hours to get the first client.
Nice. Because they were just banging out these calls.
And it took less than 3 days to get the next 7 clients. When I saw that, I was like, all right, we have something here.
Yeah.
We got something here. Now, it's just a matter of like, who am I going to partner with?
And then, let me ask you this. So the only ones that they would transfer were the people that knew about Amazon automation.
Anybody who said, have you ever heard of Amazon automation?
And they said yes.
And if they said no,
okay,
we would tell them like, hey, you know, it's a pretty cool concept.
Okay, and so you would educate them a little bit.
We'd educate them a little bit, and if they wanted more information, then we would go further.
Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted, because I didn't know if you just discarded them.
And mind you, like at the end of the day, I'm no expert in Amazon automation. Like all I was doing was just referring it to my boy Mike that already had the operation up and running.
Got it.
Like I was just, again, a middleman.
You were basically an affiliate.
Literally.
Okay.
But my affiliate package was so lucrative that it made obvious sense to go check this out.
Right. Okay.
So, dude, that's literally what we did. I ended up going ahead and partying with my boy Mike, and we ended up going ahead and sending him about 45 clients within the next like 4 months.
And what did that equate to? Like, I guess monetarily.
We were doing about 300 to 400 grand a month.
Wow, and that's gross.
Gross. Take home was about half.
Half of that, so 50. Yeah, that's in 3 months.
In 3 months.
That's lit.
Which going from what are we doing with our lives to all right, we really got something over here.
You're like 50 grand net profit a month.
Yep. And then after doing that for like, I want to say probably like 7 months, things were booming. Things were going great. The stores were performing like amazing. Amazon comes out of nowhere and says, no more drop shipping. Immediately, social media goes wild. Social media goes wild because people are just like, dude, what? No more drop shipping? Dude, thousands. I'm talking about thousands of stores got shut down from one day to another.
Really?
Shut down immediately. And there was nothing you can do.
Right.
Because Amazon doesn't have a support line. Amazon does what they want, when they want, how they want, and you just got to take your pill and swallow it.
Dude, and then what? Like, I'm at the edge of my seat right now.
Then it's just a matter of your phone blowing up 20 to 25 times a day. Like
from all these people that invested with you.
Correct, because they're pissed. They're just like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is like, dude, I'm not Amazon.
Right.
Like, I'm a fulfillment team, and I was fulfilling. I was doing my job. I was making you money.
Right.
But now they hold that against you now.
Of course.
Because they're
so
just
lawsuits come and all that stuff?
Thank God I didn't get sued.
Okay.
I didn't get sued. But I know a lot of people that got destroyed.
Did you guys hedge against that in any way with help, like making them sign contracts?
So, dude, we try to come up with solutions for them. Like we
I mean beforehand. Like, if Amazon decides
100%. We had that in our contract that like, dude, like, we can't.
This is what we're doing, but we have no control over this part.
Correct.
Okay, good.
So, dude, Amazon goes crazy. We end up, Facebook Marketplace starts opening up, and we start pushing Facebook automation. And we just, anybody whose Amazon store got canceled, here, we'll give you a Facebook store just to go ahead and compensate while we'll get your Amazon store back.
Okay.
And if we don't get
because there was a possibility to get it back?
Yeah, there was a possibility we could get it back. And if we got it back, we'll go ahead and continue, but we'll go ahead and go from FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant, to FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon.
Okay, got it.
So we started converting clients like that. Boom, 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 boom.
Slowly.
And dude, clients that just weren't happy, we ended up just refunding them. Like we gave them back their money and just called it a day. But dude, thank God, like I wasn't one of these companies that sold like 800, 700 people, which I knew. I had friends that like sold like 200, 300, 400, 800 people on Amazon stores. And
wow,
I
remember that being
it's a tough situation. And I don't put it on the company that sold it, and I don't put it on the investor. I think it's just, dude, it's like
business.
It's business. Like, things are great until it's not. Right. And again, another learning lesson to just take on the chin.
Right. And actually, I guess in retrospect, like you then, and I guess we got kind of ahead of ourselves with the trucking, because I was further on than I. But you kind of experienced the similar.
Yeah. So again, my friend Mike, immediately opens up this opportunity for trucking automation.
Oh, so so it was right after the Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right after Amazon starts kind of like going slower and down and tanking, trucking automation pops up. Okay. And I hear this opportunity and I'm just like, whoa, this is a real physical asset. This is something people can use for tax benefits. This is something that people can really like. The money was 100% there. Like we're talking about, we're at the peak of the trucking industry. Like money is just flowing. Like people are making like $7,000, $8,000, $12,000 passively profit a month per truck. So it made all the sense in the world.
Right.
All the sense. Like anybody who didn't have a truck like on the road is just because like you were uneducated about the situation.
Right. Right.
So, dude, again, a couple of the investors that I got into Amazon automation. Hey, dude, there's not much we can do for Amazon, but here's this other opportunity that we can probably roll you into.
Okay, so you pivoted yet again, right?
Because
it was from fulfilled by merchant to then fulfilled by Amazon to then now fulfilled the trucking.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Correct.
And this is the same pool of people that were the 25,000 investors from wholesaling.
Correct.
Okay.
So we go ahead and transition into trucking. And funny enough, I actually had a bunch of like investors from South America hitting me up saying like, hey, dude, we actually want to get into trucking. Okay. Like we've been looking for a way to get into trucking. So this is actually awesome. It works out. I ended up referring that business to my boy. Problem was, and to be honest with you, I haven't really told anybody this, but it was never really my intention to get into the trucking industry. I got in by accident.
Okay.
The reason why is because when I was going ahead and building my trucking business, when I was building my Amazon business, I had referred trucking clients to my boy, but the trucks weren't hitting the road. And I was like, something's fishy here. What's going on here? Dude, a letter ended up going out like a couple weeks later saying, hey, your trucks won't be on the road for the next 12 months. I'm like, whoa, 12 months? What's going on here? Right. And mind you, I'm the one that referred this opportunity, so I'm the one that has to answer for this.
Right.
So when I see all of this going down, I'm just like, dude, I'm not going to put my clients through that. Like, whenever you can, just refund me the money, which never did.
They never refunded it?
Never refunded.
How much money?
It was a lot.
It was a lot?
It was a lot. It was multiple six.
Dang.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was I ended up putting my clients' trucks on the road out of pocket. And I ended up having to build a trucking business from one day to another.
Oh, to kind of like offset.
To offset it and just make something happen because I didn't want to like ruin myself for no reason. Like it wasn't my fault, but I knew I was going to be the one held responsible for this.
Right.
So it ended up going ahead and transpiring and we ended up just building something massive. And then I was like, all right, dude, if we're really going to do this, we're going all in.
Right.
And dude, I tested ads like, it was the biggest gamble of my entire life. I did not know if this was going to work, but I knew that if this company was spending
Facebook ads,
uh-huh. I knew that if they were, because you saw their ads every single day. And I knew that if they were spending a lot of money, it was for a reason. There had to be some sort of conversion.
Yeah.
So did my homework. Who is the number one person for ads in the entire industry? And
in the trucking industry?
Nope. Just ads.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to find someone that managed millions in ads because I knew that it could potentially get there.
Right.
I knew that it could potentially get to the point where we're spending a lot of money, and I didn't want to give it to some inexperienced person. Like that would just be like if this was a gamble, 100%.
Yeah.
And if I was gonna gamble this, I wanted to give myself the best odds.
Right.
So I ended up finding. I was watching a podcast, and I heard a name. So I do this a lot. I don't know if you ever do this, but like whenever someone like influential speaks of a name, I immediately go find
look for them.
I immediately go look for the person. I'm like, who is this person? Why was he mentioned on this call?
Right.
And do I need to know this person as well?
Yep.
Does this person need to be in my phone book? Yeah. So one of those podcasts, it was a person that had an insane personal brand, someone very recognizable in the industry, and someone that I know has spent M's on ads. When he mentioned the name of his person, I immediately went to his IG. I looked at the person's name and I DM'd him. Didn't know if he would answer me. Right. He answered me within like 3 hours.
Okay.
He was like, "Bro, I want to get on a call with you." On the call with him, he was like, "Bro, I've been looking for someone in this space because I will dominate." When he told me that, bro, I got goosebumps, bro.
Oh my gosh!
It was like
it didn't feel like a sales pitch.
Bro,
you could tell that he was like genuinely interested in it.
Bro, he was like, "Dude, I have been looking for someone like you that was looking to take over the trucking automation space. Because I know the person that's running the ads for this other guy, my friend.
Yep.
I know the guy that's running the ads for my friend. And dude, he's doing such a mediocre job and he's seeing crazy results.
Yep.
I could do a way better job. And I was like, really?
Okay.
I was like, how fast can you have this up and running? He's like, give me 2 weeks.
Okay. So do you bring him on as a partner or a retainer situation?
I just paid him a retainer and I was like, let's get started.
Okay.
Dude, I was like, all right, how much of an ad budget are we going to need for this? He's like, well, what's the cost of a client? I'm like, it's going to be about like $75,000 for one client. And he's like, you're going to need at least half of that to test. To test.
Sheesh.
I was like, dude, you're killing me right now.
Yeah.
$35K that I don't know if I'm going to get back. Mind you, I have never like run ads at this level ever. Like the most I'd ever spent on ads was $1,000.
Right.
Now you're talking about testing with 35,000.
Dude,
you're tripping. He had to convince me for like an hour. He's like, Antonio, trust me, we are going to see. Dude, I was like, all right, dude, let's do it. I put it on my Amex and I was like, bro, God willing, let's see where this goes.
Right.
1 week goes by, nothing.
Testing.
He's like, bro, I told you we're testing.
Oh my gosh.
2 weeks goes by, nothing.
Oh man.
3 weeks goes by, nothing. Bro, I'm about to lose it right now. Like,
but this is consuming the 35K, right?
The whole 35 grand is just being consumed as we speak.
Right.
Like 4th week, I'm like, I call him and I'm like, dude, if this doesn't clear this week, we're in some shit.
Yeah.
And he's just like, bro, pretty God. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about?
Oh my God.
The last week of the month, bro, we ended up getting 7 sales that week.
For real?
7 sales that week.
So, okay. So I guess
I don't know.
Guide me through the funnel. Like, so it was an ad that led to a page.
It was an ad that led to a landing page that got us the opt-in. Then from the opt-in, they go to book a call. Okay. Then on that book a call, they did a questionnaire. Then on that questionnaire, they did a questionnaire. Then they booked a call.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that booked a call was the highly vetted. The opt-in was the low vetted.
Okay.
So we had two kinds of leads. We had the people that were just opting in to opt in, and the people that were really seriously interested in moving forward.
And they fill out the form
or the
survey,
form.
Whatever.
So what ended up happening the last week was that we had just been building our pipeline, and we were just following up with people that weren't just remember it's a $75,000 investment. People weren't just going to make that investment from one day to another.
Right.
So it took some time to go ahead and nurture them and just talk to them. And
so you are getting leads this whole time, and they're just not converting.
They're just not converting.
Got it.
So the last week of that month, we ended up going ahead and closing 7 people.
Nice.
And I was like, send it.
There we go.
Send it. And
which each one of those represented 75K.
Yes.
Right. So you got a freaking
good amount,
10-to-1 ROI or
good
whatever.
Amount. Yeah. We like, he told me, he's like, bro, I had never seen a return on ad spend like this. This is ridiculous. This is probably the wildest.
But that's because it's so high ticket, right?
100%. Like, of course.
So do you remember what kind of interest he was targeting or anything like that? Like
I don't even
who
remember.
has that kind of like disposable income, 75 grand too?
I don't even remember what he did, bro, but he did something.
Yeah.
He did something and it worked because my ads immediately start going viral.
And that's what I was going to also say. This is all building your personal brand at the same time, right?
Yes.
Because it's going through your personal brand.
I did 2 things. I was building my personal brand, but also building the company's brand at the same time. Because I never wanted my business to be solely dependent on my personal brand.
Right.
Like,
but the ads were running from the business account?
From the business account. I was just also going ahead and doing personal content every single day.
Got it.
So that was the thing. Like, we had like a strategy behind it. Like, I had my girlfriend that I kind of just like assigned her, like, dude, you're in charge of everything for marketing for me. Like, you're in charge of scheduling my content sessions. The one thing that I genuinely believe, like, probably is the thing that gave us the most amount of result was that every single week, like, I would produce like about like 75 to 100 pieces of content.
Wow.
Like reels, like different
short form content.
Like short form content.
Wow.
Different reels every single week and ads.
Yeah.
So I was giving to my ad manager about 25 to 30 different ad sets every single week. And
to
I was
test out
to
and
test
get
out
the best ones from
100%.
it.
And
wow.
whichever one performed the best is the one that we're writing.
Okay.
And dude, I had a couple of different ads that hit multiple million views. Like,
right, because it also had that organic reach and all of that stuff.
Because I was also mixing in with the reels that I was also doing on my IG as well. So people liked that kind of like organic touch that I was giving to it. But but my ads were just kicking everybody in the industry's butt. Like,
that's wild.
And that's when it goes to say, well, when you were saying like, dude, we literally, that was all timing. I believe that we got into that industry, into that business opportunity at the right time with the right team at the right moment. And that's what led to the high success that we created.
That's insane. Finding that media buyer though is probably obviously the icing on that cake.
Yeah. Beautiful silver lining out of that entire business was I genuinely grasped the concept of marketing, advertising, and conversion. Like,
and social media.
Social media. As well. I got it. Like, I really understood. Like, I spent at least 7 figures, like,
in ads.
Yeah.
And then you got that exposure, and now you could really take that to any industry. Realistically.
100%.
So no, I freaking love that. And then now, do you still have like relationship with the same guy, or you guys
100%.
are running things in house? Or how do you do that?
Yeah.
Now?
So no, now I run more things all in house now.
Okay.
I have my entire in-house team, but dude, the learning lessons that I got from that guy are invaluable.
Right. Okay. So then now, we'll skip through, I guess, the trucking because we already know that story. And then now we're all, I guess, present time.
Yep.
You're focusing on the solar, the trading.
Yep.
Like, how did solar come into this equation?
So solar was an opportunity that presented itself to me kind of like midway through the trucking business.
Okay.
So funny story. I'm in that moment. I'm recruiting sales reps, and one random sales rep comes into my office, and he comes in and tells me, he's like, "Hey, dude, like I kind of want to work for you." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. What are you doing right now?" He's like, "Oh, I'm selling roofs and HVACs." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, how's it going for you?" "Oh, I make 30 to 40 grand a month." I'm like, "Then why are you looking for another opportunity?"
Right.
He's like, "Because the people that I work for don't appreciate me, and the people that I work for, I basically do everything for them."
But I don't get the pay.
But my pay doesn't match. Like, and these guys take forever to pay me. They treat me however they want. They're like, he was complaining about like their ethnicity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was just like, dude, they're just very stingy people.
And were they like, why did he come to you of all people? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
He's been following you type of thing, or
no? Just
you just met him.
He's just word of mouth. Somebody told him that I was recruiting and that he should check out my opportunity and that I was crushing it at that time.
Got it.
Go check him out. And funny enough, instead of me convincing him to come be a sales rep for me, he convinces me, let's start a roofing company.
Okay.
Left field as hell. Like, why did I want to do that? Don't know. No. But point is that this guy had every piece of the business. He was the business. Like, right. It was just investing into him.
Right. Okay.
And I knew that I can develop him mainly because the trucking business was kind of like stabilized already. Like, the operation was in place. Things were flowing.
Okay.
I had some extra time.
Okay. So this is something that you're doing symbiotically at the
same time. Correct. Okay. Which it didn't end up working out just because, when we're building the roofing business, the opportunity for solar also presented itself. And I was like, dude, this is a no-brainer. Like, solar is just an absolute, like, smoking hot deal.
Right.
But the problem is that, dude, you're out. My philosophy behind the reason why I walked away from solar at that moment in time was because, dude, you're competing against people that are taking this and they're treating it with 100% of their attention, the 100% of their ability.
Right.
And you're coming into this space thinking you're going to achieve a similar level of success at half the speed.
Right.
With 1/5 of the brain power.
Uh-huh.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, so you were just realistic about this scenario.
Yeah, and you have to be. You have to be, because if not, like, you're going to start fantasizing about the money you can make and the opportunity that you start, like, it's like a girl, bro. You can't date 2 girls and give them 100% of the attention at all times. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
like, one's gonna feel neglected.
Right.
And that's what I was starting to feel. Like, my trucking business was starting to receive a lot of neglect because I was getting super excited about something new here. And what ended up happening was shiny object syndrome.
Right.
This is my new little toy over here, and I'm forgetting about the machine that I'm building over here.
Right. That is profitable and is doing great.
That is not just a machine. It's a massive machine. Like, it's huge.
Yeah.
So at that moment in time, I had to make a decision, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna like cut solar. I gave him the entire business, and I was like, bro, take it. Like, I don't want anything from it. Like,
it was a distraction for you at that point in time.
100%.
Yeah.
Which come to like realize, like, later down the line, like, if I would have really like pursued solar, like, I would have been maybe 3 times as more successful as like what I ended up achieving with trucking. But it's okay. You know, it is what it is, and like, I live with the decisions that I made.
Right.
But what led me to get back into solar was after the whole fiasco with trucking, I'm getting my mindset back. I'm getting my confidence back. I'm getting, everything starts rolling again, and one of the people that I was consulting with for automation, that I was kind of teaching him the things that I worked for me in automation, was telling me like, hey, dude, have you ever considered starting a solar company? And I was like, funny enough, I had a solar company. Yeah. I just chose not to pursue it anymore just because I had my trucking business. And he kind of convinces me, he's like, hey, bro, we should really start this up again. Like, we should really like look into it. Things start moving, ball starts rolling. I start going ahead and, recruiting reps, bringing in people, getting the systems in place, getting the process in place, getting the website up. He just does some shady stuff that just didn't sit right with me. And I kind of just decided, like, you know what? If you're doing this on day 45, I don't even want to imagine what it's going to look like on day 400. Like,
when there's actual stakes in this.
Immediately, I just said, like, dude, you just learned the lesson of not calculating your risk, like, in this last opportunity.
Yeah.
Take the learning lesson. If this isn't the right fit, don't try to force it. You trying to force it is something that could probably lead to an unfavorable, like, outcome. And I was just like, you know what? Let it go. And immediately turned left, shut it down, called it out. And that's it.
Shut down the solar?
Shut down the solar business.
Oh, okay.
Immediately.
Oh, wow.
Because I was just like, bro, like, number one, like, I'm not willing to go knock doors every single day.
Right.
Sorry. But I went too fast. Before I shut it down, I immediately recruited an in-house sales manager, someone from a big solar company out here in South Florida. This guy has managed over 75 different reps.
Okay.
Door knocks, does the whole deal. But again, I wasn't, invested into the opportunity.
Because is that what it takes to get solar?
You gotta be willing to go. You gotta be willing to go the distance, bro. Okay. You gotta be willing to do whatever it takes.
Because it's not like you can implement. I guess. I mean, you could, right? Like you've already amassed experience and skill sets and the right connections in the area of ads.
100%.
You could have gone that route as well, and you probably did.
Lead gen wasn't the problem. It was the fact that I didn't know the groundwork of solar because I was never willing to go door knock. I was never willing to go do the deals. So myself. So I was always going to be dependent on somebody else's word on what's the status of my business. I hate that feeling.
Got it.
I hate that feeling because it's just a feeling of unsureness.
Right.
And unsureness
trusting blindly.
literally. And I was not ready to go down that road again.
Right.
So I was just like, dude, this isn't for you. This isn't making you happy. It's causing a lot of stress in your life. Like, right now is a moment where you're just starting to build yourself back up. You need to do something that really like empowers you.
Right.
Mind you, we had about 14 deals already in the pipeline for solar, already done, signed, sold.
Oh wow.
So I was just waiting on commissions.
Right.
So I was like, dude, you know what? Take your commissions. You're going to be safe for a couple, like 9 months.
Yeah.
Find your
So you literally cut your losses, let them have even though you put in work into it. That's cool.
Cut your losses, take your profits, walk away, go find something that really inspires you, something that really makes you happy to wake up every single day and do.
Right.
And mind you, and this whole entire time, I'm trading every single day.
Right.
I'm trading every single day. I love trading. I genuinely enjoy it. I'm seeing a lot of people like become highly successful with trading, and I'm just like, dude, the only reason why you're not there is because you haven't given it the time and respect that they gave it to it.
Yeah.
And if this is something you genuinely enjoy, this is something you're going to do for the rest of your life,
right.
Why not go?
This has been the side chick this whole time.
It's been the side chick that should have been the main chick the entire time, and you're just not treating her right, bro. It's either something's gonna happen. She's gonna either leave you, or you're gonna, or you're just gonna miss out on like what could have been.
Right.
So I was just like, dude, stop prolonging this.
Yeah.
Take this seriously. See where it goes.
So you just full on gave it like your attention.
Decided to just go 100%.
Because at this time, like you've been doing it for whatever 5 years already. And you decided to go or part ways with the whole solar thing. So it's something, the skill set that you've been building gradually, right?
100%.
And you've already seen some results from it, right? Because you've already cashed out, right?
Yeah.
So you know that it works. It's just a matter of, okay, if I dedicate all
seriously?
Do you really want to take it serious and take it to the level that you've brought all these other companies?
Yep.
So that's where you're sitting at right now, right?
Correct.
So how long has it been since you made that decision?
3 months.
3 months only. So from solar being gone to full-time trader, 3 months. And what kind of, like, I guess, success have you found in those 3 months?
I've already had multiple 5-figure months already consistently for the last 3 months.
Nice.
Now,
unlike everything else, this really doesn't have much overhead, right?
Brother, this is literally
your time.
I am done trading at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm on the golf course at 1 p.m.
Let's go.
And I'm building my community in the afternoon.
Okay.
And I'm living life at my pace. I'm
Yeah.
living life on my terms and how I want to live it. The money I'm making is great.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better. And I get to invest into other businesses with the money that I make. You know, I'm not broke. I'm not like literally just making $2K a month. No, we're making good money. It's not 100, 200 grand a month yet.
Right.
But it will get there. And the good thing is, I know how to scale businesses. I know how to scale with marketing. I know how to scale with systems and processes. Now it's just a matter of just implementing all that knowledge and all that skill set into this opportunity and watch it flourish.
Watch it flourish. So now you're going to go more into the education space now.
Yeah. So right now I'm just teaching people as I go. And the cool thing is that my community is not just about trading. It's about entrepreneurship as well.
Okay.
So this community, I'm literally every single day, 8:30 in the morning to 11 a.m. we're trading.
Yeah.
But apart from trading, I'm also teaching people what to do with the profits that they make with trading.
Love it.
Like you're able to go ahead and invest in real estate. You're able to go ahead and start and build and buy businesses. People don't even know that you can go out and buy businesses that are
SBA
already
loans.
cash flowing and use creative terms to close on the business.
Yep.
Like people don't know these stuff. So, my goal with this community, it's two things. Number one, it's an accountability system and partner for me. Because I know that if I have a community that I teach and coach every single day,
it's going to keep you accountable.
It's going to keep me accountable to the rules that I've set for myself in trading.
Right.
Number two, it gives me the opportunity to give back to everybody all the knowledge that I've gathered around for the last 8 years. Dude, I have so much knowledge of how to start businesses, how to launch businesses, how to scale businesses, how to build your marketing traction for your business. There's so much information that I can give you. And there's so many people that, if you really understand business, you'll understand that trading is just another business. And you got to treat it like a business. But the problem is that people treat it like a hobby, which is why it pays them like a hobby.
Right. Which you walk that walk.
Which was me. So now I get to create this community where I get to share with people like, hey, dude, like, I've been where you're at and I know exactly what you're going through. And I know exactly what you need to do to get out of that state of mind and actually build something with the thing that you're investing so much time with.
Right.
So it's honestly a passion project. I love what I'm doing. I'm super hyped about the results that we're seeing right now. And I think 2024 will be a year where I genuinely help 2,500 students this year.
2,500. That's amazing, dude. So you've dedicated 2024 to say, listen, I'm going to just put my head down and work on this.
Yep.
Do you give yourself like, I'm going to focus on this for X amount of time and determine at that point whether or not, or you just take it day by day?
I just don't have any distractions right now. Like now, this is my full like attention. It's catching so much traction. And I know that, with the time that I spend on it, I'm going to see an ROI.
For sure.
And right now it's cool because, when I built all these businesses, my main thought process was like, how do I generate more leads for my business? And that was always the question I had to ask myself for every business that I took on. And every business teaches you a new way of generating leads.
Right.
And the funniest thing is like when you bring all those strategies to this business that is not normally like, normally to build this business, the way that everybody else is doing is like, I post on social media, like we're all good. Like I'm showing you my results. People ask you questions, but no one's done like aggressive outbound to get people to know about what you're doing. So right now I'm just implementing SMS, email, Facebook ads, TikTok affiliates, Craigslist ads, which is...
This is what you're going to launch next week, you mentioned earlier?
No, this is already running.
Oh, this is already running?
This is already running, yeah. Facebook ads is what launches this week.
And what's the offer at this point? Like consulting or like coaching?
Join my community.
Okay.
Join my community and come trade with us every single day at 8 to 11.
And to join the community, is there like a ticket? Like
$150 a month. $150 a month.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's amazing. And then it's not just about trading; it's about business development.
And if you want
mental...
to like get a one-on-one session with me, you can.
Okay.
There's a bunch of upsells in there. If you want to there's golf with Rivodo.
Love that.
There's a bunch of cool things that you get to do. Like, dude, I play golf with some of the best traders in Miami.
Really?
Like my very good friend right now. We play golf all the time. Just bought a Bugatti from being a forex trader.
Wow.
Like, these are the people that I play with. So like, if you pay to come play with me, you're gonna go network with people of that kind of caliber.
Right.
So
right. You pay for proximity.
That's a value.
For sure.
You and me paid that same price, and we get to meet cool people all the time.
Yep.
So I genuinely believe there's a sort of value there. So right now it's just about building a community.
Yeah.
Is it just about trading? No, trading is just how I show you to make money immediately. Like, you want to start making money tomorrow? Great. Join my community and you're going to trade with me every single day. I'm going to teach you how to make money. But that's not the goal of the community. The goal of the community is to learn how to invest your money, how to make money, how to build a business, how to actually scale a business.
Would you say that's what sets you apart from all of these? Because there's a bunch of Forex trading 100%. Coaches, gurus, and all of that.
100%. Like,
that's your sauce?
Yeah, I think that's the difference maker for me, at least. You know, it's not, trading for me isn't an end all be all. Trading for me is just a revenue stream.
Yeah.
And I'm just teaching people how to get this revenue stream and make a business out of it.
Okay.
And then teach them about other businesses and other opportunities and how to really create like financial independence.
And invest that money wisely in real estate and all these different vehicles or whatever. And do you ever plan on maybe creating like a fund for the community where you can, you know, Rivodo Capital or something like that? Let's see.
It's everything's a possibility. And especially like, look how Grant Cardone did it. You know, Grant Cardone doesn't go to big institutions to raise money. What did he do? Built up a community.
Direct to people.
He built up a community. He has an email list of 20 million people that follow his newsletter every single day. And what do? He hits them every single day.
Yep.
And he gives them opportunities to go ahead and invest with them.
Yeah. So he prints money.
And look at Pace Morby.
Yeah.
Pace Morby has a massive community.
Yeah.
So why are these people building communities?
Yeah.
You have to understand the psychology behind that. When you build a community, it's not just people that are taking a trade that you sent. No, it's people that are bought into you.
Yes.
And people that are bought into you are listening to you because you have something of value to share with them. Right. And if people that of value don't just share one piece of value. No, they share with you all the value that they have.
Yeah.
And people that listen to all that value, they have options now. And that's what I want to offer people. I want to offer options. I feel like people that are, you know, in this world sometimes are just so stuck with, this is my reality and this is what I get. Like, there's a lot of people with the mindset of just like, dude, all I have is a 9-to-5 job and all I have is, you know, what I have, and you know, that's just me. That's my life and that's what God gave me.
Yeah. And I'm straight staying here too. Like, they're comfortable.
And that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I think it's bullshit because people don't know what they don't know. And all you really need to do is just unveil it. And if they want it, okay, you want it. And if you don't want it, okay, you don't want it. But at least you have the option.
Right.
People that don't have the option is because they're not exposed to the information.
That's right. Yeah. No, I love that, dude. I'm super excited to see what you build out. You sound super passionate about it.
Yeah, man.
And it sounds to you that it's not even about like a dollar amount or anything like that as far as building a community.
$150 a month. I'm not going to get rich off $150.
Right. Because you're making 10 times, 20 times that just by you trading on your own, but building a team or a community around that you could then help, you know, I love it.
Raise the community,
help give back, because that's your way, I guess, of giving back.
100%.
No, I love that, man. So I would love to transition now into, because you pretty much caught up, transition into the love side of things, right? Like you're a guy in Miami. You have a girlfriend now, right? You have a girlfriend. I've had multiple single guys sitting literally where you're sitting right now that are here in Miami. I'm like, dude, you guys got it tough because there's beautiful people all around. You have to sift through the BS. You have to see like who Mrs. Right and all these different things. So what has been, I guess, your experience? Because you lived here in Miami pretty much all your life?
My entire life.
Our entire life. How has that, like, I guess, been for you when it comes to relationships, finding love, the right person?
It's funny because as soon as I graduated high school, I had the option of going to college or going, you know, straight into the workforce. And I was like, dude, I don't like studying. At least I don't like studying the things that I don't care about.
Right.
And I immediately understood that from the day I graduated. So I got this sales opportunity to go work for a sales company, and I saw some result early on, and I decided, you know what, let me take a chance on myself. Throughout that process, obviously, like, dude, you're 18 years old in Miami, making money.
Yep.
And you're just out there networking with people every single day. So the opportunity to meet girls was very easy.
Right.
Especially for me, like at 18 years old, dude, I was pushing a makeup product. So I was talking to girls all day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So meeting girls throughout that process was very important. But thank God I had a mentor at that time that I didn't really consider him a mentor at the time. But now that you think about it, you know, he really was a mentor because he definitely like coached me through a lot of the BS of being a child.
Right.
At 18 years old, you're a child.
Yeah.
But he kind of always told me, he's like, hey, dude, what do you want right now? Do you want instant gratification and do you want to get with girls all your life and just spend all the money that you make on girls? Or do you want to make money and make a life that a girl would want to live with?
Ooh, that's fire.
And dude, immediately from day one, I was like, bro, think about it. I'm 18 years old, only surrounded by people that were 35 and up.
Wow.
So, and that's been the case for me my entire life. Like, I've always liked being around older people.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, man. I don't know. There was. I just never related to people that were my age because everybody was just thinking about getting drunk. And don't get me wrong, me too.
Right.
But like, I always saw beyond that. You know, I always saw beyond the getting drunk and stuff like that, and saw like, damn, how can I hustle? How can I make money?
Right.
Like,
that's the entrepreneur spirit,
dude.
in you, man.
Funniest story ever. So I'll go back to that to what I was answering right now. But let me give you a quick story. When I was 16 years old, I don't know if you ever did you live here in Miami?
Yeah.
Like, a couple years. Okay, so back in Miami in Doral, there was this huge golf tournament.
Okay.
It was a massive golf tournament, and all the pros would come and play. And there was this volunteer program that they had in my school where, you know, the people that hold the score with golf with the pros?
Yeah.
So you could volunteer to be one of those guys.
Okay.
And I did it every year of high school, obviously, because I loved golf at that time.
Oh, you still... Okay, so you've been doing golf for a minute.
No, I didn't play. I just loved golf.
Oh, okay.
My dad was a huge advocate for golf. And,
so you would just watch it, keep up with it?
Literally.
Okay.
So, and Tiger Woods was at peak form at that time. So
Right.
obviously I had to follow Tiger.
Yeah.
But an opportunity came in my junior year to go to that golf tournament, and that year they were giving like voucher packets to like people, and that voucher packet was just like a lot of food and a lot of drinks that you get it for free for being a volunteer. And that year, like, I needed to hustle to make money. And that year, what happened was I ended up asking the lady at the front desk, was like, hey, can I get a bunch of these voucher packets? Like, I'm really hungry. She was like, yeah, dude, grab as many as you want. Like, I was like, really? And I was like, all right, dude, got a stack of them, bro.
Yeah.
And I literally
started flipping them.
I literally went to the golf course, and I had a pitch and everything, bro.
Oh, man.
I literally went around the golf course like, hey, look, if you go buy a couple beers right now, it's probably going to be around like $27. I'll sell you this voucher that gives you 3 beers for $20. What do you think? Dude, sold out within an hour.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, got into a bunch of trouble. But
you still like 18 at this point? Or?
No, I was 17 at that
17.
point. Yeah. So I couldn't, nothing major could really happen. But
yeah.
Funny enough, like, dude, I've always been a hustler. Like, I've always been looking for a way to, like, you know, make money.
So we were talking about the love, like how Mrs. Right in this whole...
Yeah, so when I was in that moment, like at 18 years old, I wasn't really thinking too much about like trying to like find a girl or trying to like date while I was also on the come up, because it wasn't really my priority. And like my priority was just like to grow within this one opportunity.
Right.
But, you know, obviously after I left that opportunity, you know, I started dating girls and girls that were younger than me. And dude, the same thing was all I was finding. I was just finding girls that were just, you know, trying to hang,
en la jodedera.
Trying to go party, trying to go do something. And like, I wasn't the age to go party,
but you were kind of ahead.
My head was just not there. So
because you've been surrounded by people that are much older, different goals and all of that.
Correct.
So, yeah.
So I knew, like, in my mind, bro, like, I knew what I wanted. I knew that, like, I wanted a girl that would hustle with me, a girl that would grind, a girl that was just like trying to make something happen.
Excited about building something.
Literally.
Yeah.
So it was about 3 years ago that I met my girl. No, it's about to be 3 years ago right now in August. But it was 3 years ago that I met her. I actually met her through another friend. And this girl was just like an automatic hustler. Like, this girl was just out here just flipping like clothes and shoes to like high net worth individuals in Colombia.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, this girl's fire.
Yeah.
But
she's Colombian?
Colombian, yep.
Good job.
Yeah, of course.
Colombians.
For people that don't know, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know. And if you know, you know.
But, you know, obviously, like, seeing that, like, we rushed everything. We rushed, like, from the month that we started dating, like 2 months later, she's moving in with me. Like, we rushed everything.
Yeah.
Now, I don't recommend that for everybody. Because there's a lot of gaps in that story that you didn't really get to, like, experience just because you rushed the relationship so fast.
Right. Was there a reason why? Like, it was just convenience, or like...
It was just convenience, bro. Like, at the same time, like, I was here in Miami. I was building my business, and I was like scaling it up. And, you know, having her around me wasn't a bother. Right. Like, she was focused on her business. I was focused on my business.
Right.
And we just got to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
So, you know, a couple months later down the line, she ends up like stopping that business and coming to work for me full time. Mistake.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Mistake because not because she wasn't qualified to do the job, but mistake because it didn't give us time to like breathe. Like,
it was all about work.
It was all about work. Like, we go to the office, it's about work. We come home, it's about work.
Yeah.
And problems at work are problems at home.
Right.
Problems at home are problems at work.
Yeah.
And dude, as a 26-year-old, 27-year-old, like this is new to you, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're experiencing this for the first time. You don't know how to handle this. You don't know how to deal with this.
Right.
And like I'm talking about, like, yeah, dude, we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're pretty much like as close to marriage as you possibly can be.
Right.
Like, it's just all you're missing is the title.
Right.
Because honestly, like we live together, we experience life together, we handle everything together. So
you know each other's families and all that stuff.
So like. It kind of felt like feels like a marriage at this point.
Right. Why isn't it a marriage already? Then?
I think that that's just one thing that I don't want to rush.
Yeah. You've rushed everything up until
correct. But but that's the reason why I didn't want to rush it because
you did rush through.
Because I rushed the entire beginning.
Right.
And when I thought about it later down the line, I was like, damn, we should have probably like. Slowed it down a little bit. Not because I doubt being with you, but because like maybe we needed to learn how to like grow with each other and live with each other.
No, and enjoy the different seasons of dating one another and being able to feel that,
Correct.
I guess, No, I get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that whole experience of just like working together and being together put a lot of pressure on our relationship.
Yeah.
Like I don't recommend that for
everyone
because not everybody will survive it, and we almost didn't. Like we've gone to couples therapy a couple times, and in those couples therapies, like it's just more about understanding the way we process things, because she processes things differently than I do.
Right.
And I have a higher tolerance for pressure than she might have.
Right.
But she also has a higher level of empathy than I do.
Right.
So she
we complement each other.
We expose those things to each other, and it helps us both grow. But growing brings a lot of pressure as well.
Of course.
And sometimes that pressure, although it's good because pressure builds diamonds, but sometimes that pressure might take a little bit longer to find that diamond.
Right.
And we definitely hit a couple points where like we questioned it, but thank God, like we're still here and we're working on it. And what I've come to understand about relationships, especially a relationship that you guys grind together every single day, you have to understand that relationship is not about the lovey-dovey season, like the beginning season, that
dies out,
the forever love season, like
the honeymoon stage.
Yeah, like that dies very quickly, but you have to understand that the person that you're with is someone that you chose to be with, and the person you chose to go down this path with, and the person you chose to experience life with, and get all these learning lessons with, and develop yourself with. Because at the end of the day, like you're not perfect, she's not perfect, and you guys are both growing together.
Right.
And these are all experiences that you're gonna gain only through going through it. Because no one wrote a manual for this. At least no one handed it to me.
Right, for sure. What would you say, I guess, would you have done differently in your specific scenario?
I wouldn't have brought her to work with me. Okay. I wouldn't have brought her to work with me because it blurred a lot of lines.
Would you say that that's the main common denominator in the arguments, maybe, and the disagreements and stuff?
Yes and no. I would say that yes, because obviously, like when you're dealing with a high level business like that, like it comes with high level pressure, and high level pressure, like not everybody can swim in those waters. Like it's not everybody can handle that level of pressure and still be able to breathe. Right. And obviously someone that doesn't really have like that much level of expertise or experience in business, you can't really put that level of pressure with them and expect them to just like survive without your help. Right,
for sure. So you would say not have her even be a part of it in the beginning? Or would you say not have her be as close to, or maybe that proximity, because it could be a proximity thing,
I would have just kept the marketing and the business completely separate. Okay. Like I would have just had her,
because she was doing all marketing stuff.
I would have just had her like build out my marketing, and just run it as her own separate
department
business
type of thing,
like her own separate business.
Okay. And then you outsource it to her.
And I was exactly
got it.
Because she was good at social media. She was building her business purely through social media. Like it was impressive the way she was doing it. So I was like, dude, if you're doing it with this, like imagine what you could do with helping me.
Right.
So and instead of paying this money to somebody else, I'd rather just pay it to you. Because
for sure. Not? Okay.
And then obviously like having her inside the business, also had her privy to a lot of conversations that she probably shouldn't have been privy to. Because those conversations, were tough realities that we had to like take in. Yeah. That like, in her mind, she couldn't fathom those realities. Like, and not everybody can, not everybody can understand that like, business is done this way. Right. People are just so like, business is ABC, and like, no, it's not. No. Business is zigzags, and it's roller coasters, and it's like go back, left, front, back and forward. Right. And not everybody really understands that. And it's okay. Not everybody's meant to understand that.
For sure.
But you have to understand that when you're in a relationship, you have to take the time to break those things down to that individual in order for them to really understand. Yeah. And then have multiple conversations in order for them to really grasp the entire concept of it all. Yeah.
So in your case, it's because she was so close to the whole thing that she could, be informed of things that normally she wouldn't even know about.
Correct.
I would say in my personal experience also with like my wife, I usually bring up things to her after the facts. Yeah. Right? She's not as close to the businesses when stuff is hitting the fan and I'm putting out fires and all of that. In that moment, she has no idea for multiple reasons. Number one, I don't want to stress her out because it could be something, like you said, that could be detrimental to the relationship, communication, and all of that. Especially if there's nothing that she could possibly do to help the cause.
It's just like, why create pressure and stress in an area where it's not necessary, where it's only going to create more problems and stress for you?
Exactly.
Like and again, you only really understand that when you go through it.
When you go through it. No, for sure. So I think, so you would say not be as close in the business, even though you want to do business with her, because that's one of the things that you guys kind of connect
I love her entrepreneurship spirit. I think it's one of the things that most attracts me to her. Because she's just someone
you feed off each other.
Yeah. She's someone that is always excited about what she's doing and something, and like someone that's always trying to like see the positive things out of a situation. But when you go through the kind of emotional distress that I went through with that business, dude, that takes a toll on anybody.
For sure.
I don't care who you are. I don't care, how many levels of experience you have. That's going to take an emotional toll on you 1,000%. And even more if you're someone that really hasn't ever gone through something like that, even remotely close.
Right.
It's going to take an even bigger toll. So I genuinely believe that it definitely took a toll on our relationship, but it definitely made us mature in the relationship a lot faster. We got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
Quick.
Now, how do you guys overcome those different circumstances?
Yeah.
You guys were able to, I guess, reorganize things, restructure things as far as like how involved she is in the business. Like, where are you guys at now?
Yeah, no, right now she's back to owning her own business. So I've been helping her like launch her new business.
Okay.
So she picked up her old business again, and she's been like redeveloping, and it's been hitting it off the walls, and it's been doing amazing.
Is she still doing marketing for you or no?
No. She's doing now she grabbed all that knowledge that she got with me and is implementing into her business to go ahead and scale it in different ways.
Love it.
And then she also built up another business, which is her Botox business.
Okay.
So my girlfriend's a certified dentist in Colombia.
Okay.
But she hasn't been able to bring her degree out here to South Florida, so she does like Botox parties and stuff like that for clients that pay her very well.
Nice.
And she's been finding ways to go ahead and really develop that side of the business as well, to go ahead and bring another income stream into the business, into the household as well.
Yeah, I love it.
I love that about her, that she's always looking for solutions. She's also a day trader. She loves to trade with me as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
But we don't trade together just because,
emotions.
Yeah.
Again, you've learned your lesson.
Yeah. You trade. Happy for you that you love trading as much as I do, but stay in your lane.
Join the community. Join the calls if you want.
We'll talk later after we've taken the trades.
Right.
It's hilarious, but super excited for her. She's seeing great results with trading as well.
Nice.
She has her own personal mentor that teaches her about trading.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
She has her own thing going on, and I think right now we're in a pretty awesome space where we really get to compliment each other on hey dude, I just learned this with my business. You just learned that with your business, and we get to bring our ideas together and
collaborate
and just mastermind together and just talk about cool little opportunities, which is, dude.
That's awesome, man.
It's awesome.
It's like you're with your best friend that also does business, but they're doing it on their own. You're learning things over here. She's learning things over there. You come together at the end of the day. It's like, hey, you might want to do this.
Yep.
I love that. So you're still obviously living together and all of that. When is there something that you guys are waiting for to happen before you guys say, okay, we're gonna get married? Or where are you guys at in that space?
I think the conversation, we're getting to that point where it's gonna come up. Like I said, I'm just
taking it step by step.
We just walked out of a storm.
Right.
No need to rush into a big decision.
Because like you said, you're pretty much already married, right? Your lives are intertwined. All of these different things.
A piece of paper won't make a difference.
Right.
We're gonna live the exact same.
I don't know. Maybe in her mind is probably the same. Or
I for sure believe she's thinking about it.
Right. Because she's we're already gone through all these things.
100%.
It's I guess it's not the piece of paper. It's more so the level of commitment. Okay, this is
100%
sealed and deal.
And trust, I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm just like,
does she make you like aware? Does she throw any hints, or she's kind of in the same wavelength as like?
I mean, she's thrown her
little jabs.
Her little jabs, but not frequently. No, it was like once or twice that she's ever done it. But you know, she also understands, like, dude, we just walked out of a storm. We don't need to just like immediately just go into this. Like, don't get me wrong. I know where you stand. I know where I stand.
For sure.
We're all good. But obviously this is something that, you know, we are going to have to like,
because you guys have had that conversation, like marriage, kids, and all that good stuff. I'm sure. Okay. No, that's awesome, man. Well, dude, we've gone for a while. I don't even know how long, but I could keep going with you for hours, dude. And I hope this is not the last time that we have you on.
No, of course not.
But, you know, if you've stuck around this long, definitely any comments, any questions you might have for myself, for Antonio, please do that. Where can the people that are listening and watching find you?
Yeah. So right now I'm developing my Twitter.
Okay. I'm going to X.
My X. I'm going to get very big on X. Okay. We have a pretty awesome strategy behind X right now.
Okay. Do you want to share that before we go?
Yes, we can. So right now, the way I'm going and approaching X right now is I'm doing the mother and children strategy.
Okay. So never heard of that.
So what it is that you have the mother account, which the mother account is my account where I promote, you know, all the cool things. I promote everything that has to do with me and Riv Trades.
Okay.
And then I have 10 children accounts where it's 10 separate accounts that are consistently like of team members of mine that are consistently reaching out to 150 to 200 people every single day. People in my specific demographic, people that I would target as clients.
Like VAs?
So I have 3 VAs that are managing the 10 accounts, that are consistently reaching out to 150 to 200 people that meet my demographic. My demographic.
Okay.
And
Through
X. So all those pages are retweeting my content every single day and are forwarding my content to people that I'm trying to target. So every single day we're touching about 1,500 to 2,000 people every single day on Twitter.
Dude.
To channel them back to my page so we can consistently grow our page organically. That's scale on Twitter. But dude, I've seen some crazy success stories with X that would blow your mind. Like I know people that have 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 followers that are making $40,000, $50,000 a month just off X.
Really, dude? This
crazy.
I feel like I need to implement this.
Dude, X, I
How do you even find the people that are in your demographic? Like filters?
There's other people that, you know,
that follow other people that are in your niche.
There's people that are in other spaces just like yours that are doing Airbnb that are on X, that are people are commenting on their posts, that are people that are commenting on their tweets, that are retweeting their stuff. And you can see all those people. You could just literally reach out like, hey, how long you been doing this for?
There's no limit on how many you can send?
I think the limit is about like 100 to 150 people per day.
So you're just writing that.
So now we're going to have 10 accounts that are maximizing that every single day. So X will be a huge platform for me. And then you can also find me on Instagram, Rivodo. Yeah. TikTok, Rivodo, and YouTube very soon. I will be on YouTube very soon.
You have a podcast?
I do, Hustler to CEO, but right now...
It's been dormant for a little bit?
It's been like, while I've been dealing with all of this, I kind of have about like 7 podcasts that I have yet to release with pretty awesome people. Yeah. I'm probably going to go ahead and start releasing them season 1 probably very, very soon.
Awesome.
Get back to that as soon as well, but just, you know, step by step.
For sure, man. Dude, I'm super excited for everything that you're doing. You're crushing it. I'm glad that you've overcome so many of these other things that you've undergone through the last couple of months and years.
Thank God.
And I can't wait to see what you do with that learning experience and all those different things. So I really appreciate you coming on the pod.
Appreciate you, bro.
Hope to have you again very soon. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, leave your comments, share this with someone that might find some value. Follow my boy Antonio, and I'll see you at the top as always. Let's go.